it. So then like you could choose your little player and then build up the roles and then like have these little cards here. So then I was supposed to have a little bit more, but me and Jean had to. She's not gonna show up. But kind of like this too, using this as
Okay. No.
like a flow or um as a way about like thinking about being like a curator or omega builder or like what it means to hold the space and stuff like that. So that's what
So I
I'm.
see like you have create, learn. Yes, you're breaking up. I don't know if it's while I'm on my mobile. I don't know if that's.
Um, looks like I have good connection. It doesn't say that I'm messing up, but I could. Can you see the screen?
Yes, I can say it now. Yeah,
Okay, cool.
but it's your voice which is breaking up. But I guess, well, let's try.
I could try to get back in, but is it better now or is it still breaking up?
No, nice better, nice better. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah. I'm
cool.
seeing the stream at the same time. Okay, I really like these badges, and we can just choose yes, like the our role, right?
Yeah,
I'm saying like the shaman, builder, and artist. I really like the design of the cards. They are super cool.
yeah, and also too, I've been messing around with like the basic card outline and then like putting some of Steph's like patterns into it. That was that one image that I shared. Um, yeah.
Yeah,
Anyways,
the one you share in the chat in the main chat,
yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah. And this is the newest flower with the insight is all of them
Ooh, what
together.
is that in the middle? Ah, that's the
Yeah.
one with all the mandalas, and that's the middle of it.
Uh-huh.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah. And so it's like a crazy little Stargate right there. And I was thinking too,
Yeah, yeah.
like I was thinking about like the card, right? I think it's like part of it is like you I was thinking um as you go around the flower, doing certain completing certain like at first I think it'll be like self-guided tours, but hopefully later it'll be more like a game. But like say for instance you go through one of the curations or whatever, right? And then you get one of the mandalas and that like helps to like form your background because that's what I did with the that one with if it's I think it's in the Valley of Novelty is it's one of the sketch like I did like a little sketch and I did a note and I sent that first initially to within the vacuum and that and another one that he sent back to me, right? And those were the first ones that me and him started playing around with these mandalas. But anyways, I used
Yeah.
that one for like the pattern for the background. Now I used his latest one for kind of because it turned out to look like a flower. Because I was doing that for the dynamic energy budget, and I was like, I kind of like how that looks. And then I was like, oh, let me put the card over it. I'm like, oh, that looks cool. And then I'm like, okay, I gotta play with that. And then, but I was like, oh, that's kind of like you could build your own like design for your like background or whatever based off of like I guess participating in like like your section like kind of like what we're saying like orchestrate your I think it's like maybe it's like orchestrate your flower and it's like about like the more you participate is like the more you build up your role and
Yes, it's like yes, like you're unlocking your badges or your levels in a way. Because yes,
yeah
the more you contribute, it's like you are gaining this experience, right? You're curating more in one of the petals, so you unlock
yeah
those. I don't know, like those words, and that's like your curation, and you have that mandala or that petals in that way.
yeah
Yeah, I see that. Yeah. Mm.
Hey, what's up, Mert?
And do you see like there's this flow um, inside the roles? Because if we choose
Yeah,
one role and we start creating, how do you see that going forward? Like you gain experience in that specific petals and you start looking there, or we can see what everyone is doing in the, let's say, in the whole crypto flower.
I think like you know part of the dynamic energy like flow like the next step is about like the group dynamics, and already that's why I put the players right here. The dynamic energy budget already kind of has like our own little group, and we're like synergizing with each other. And so anyways, our group kind of like individually like does all of this. And so one of these like circles is like the research group and the roles that get like developed. Like we probably put more like roles under this as we go along. And so that's like based off of what I put as my role. I hold the space
Yeah,
for
I
the
like
creative.
this
Yeah.
five roles. I like it because it's like very
Yeah.
related to ours as well. So yeah.
Yeah, and so I see like later when we talk about like regenerative workflows, it's combining the creative flow, the energy flow, and the process flow together to create the workflow that is necessary to fill in creative curations for the library. And so like basically you form your own like it's like so this is like the starter group I'm thinking of, like the Sal of me, Nick and Gene as far as dynamic energy budget, and we want to like what we're already doing is curating what the dynamic energy budget is. Just the other day we had a presentation at Kernel, like it was like a 3 minute presentation kind of thing. And anyways, but like that's like a curation, right? But this is we're using us as the model of like our gestation period of how we formed and like what it took. And so our curation will have all of this, like have novelty, transdisciplinary, and it'll be connected to Omega. And I think this is like pretty good to start in the middle of the flower, and hopefully like that could like branch into other areas which we explore and we connect with other people's work in there. Because like I said in the beginning, I saw like regenerative workflow is like all three like together, kind of like how even the group used like imaginarium flow, and then like even like what we do in dynamic energy budget is like part of Omega, and it forms this kind of like cycle of creative flow that hopefully we could do stuff to like capture that, to create these narrative games, to concentrate some of the effort and work to produce these interesting things to engage with the flower, engage with the website and stuff like that.
Yeah, because I see like any way we start like the game, we are choosing our avatar at the very beginning,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because we
Yeah.
were saying, okay, if the game is self-discovery game, you really are choosing one of the avatars, be it like these five roles that we have for the library, the artist, guide, curator, visitor, or developer, or the other
Mm-hmm.
ones we were saying, like this McKenna Smithsman. So I see like
Yeah.
anything we do is like we have to start that way because we need to have our avatar, right? Our middle card to start even exploring the other curations or what the other people are doing inside the library.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I guess we need to grade this like this first point. Maybe do you see like we can when we have the backend, we need to explain this in the first, say, slide, website video, like choose your player, and we have to have this guide player, a guide for the players to choose there, or is it gonna be super clear and it's like, okay, yes, I'm the shaman. Oh no, in my case, or I'm a curator, because I feel like my work till here it's been like a curator in itself. So it's like, okay, if I'm a curator, then I'm gonna choose that from the very beginning and just feel everything from this role, right? So I see like we need like maybe this
I
guide
think
for
I
people
think
just
yeah.
to
I think
ourselves because we know
I
that.
I think for the Concealance Library contributors, like we all kind of like pick a role and then we start to like define it, and then there I think we'll have like the categories and like subcategories of what it is to be those roles, and then that becomes like in the next version 2 becomes like pick your own role. Right now it's choose your own adventure. No, yeah, like choose your own adventure of like what I showed the narrative mandala. Like you kind of like, okay, here is dynamic energy budget. Then we did this exercise, and then like all of us share, and then like there will probably be like you'll have like 3 buttons, and then you pick one, and then you'll see like Steph shares his, or Jolly Llama shares his, or whatever, and then you go to the conclusion, and this is what we did, and then this is how like what for me one of the most interesting ones, which I kind of like share about, is like Streamer D just shows up like randomly and didn't even have a toilet paper. He used a soup cup, and then that like just him having the soup cup made it easier for him to draw. So he went more in depth in his drawing. But anyways, things like that. That's like like those reading books where you choose your own adventure, where you're like, okay, you interact with this one part, and then he says, okay, based on like a question, or said, oh, what you want to go to this door or that door or that door. I'm thinking of just like late,
Yes,
yeah,
I see that in the creative workflow we're explaining. Like we have these three
yeah,
workflows, and that's like part of the creative one. It's like
yeah,
okay, you are choosing your adventure, so you really do whatever you want. It's more like maybe the creative one or the artist, but
yeah,
I still see this more research workflow, and I
yeah,
think like that one may be more structured in a way. So it's like okay, you come in here and you have these cards and you have like these templates and you know
hmm,
that your creators are going to be like category based, maybe refi, or it's more philosophy, or this
yeah,
transdisciplinary between the cards. So I see that one as more structured in a way, and that builds in this Kumu style that is meta. We have the metadata, and we can
hmm,
just have explore this in these branches for the tree. So I would
yeah,
like to see that. I see those like a little bit different. Like the creative one is like, okay, you come here and you really choose. It may be like more
yeah,
chaotic in a way, but I like to see the other one as well. Like, okay, this can be super
yeah,
research based.
yeah. And I think when you pick whatever, however, I think maybe we'll just change it to like uh workflow or whatever. But Imaginarium is the creative, tech is the process, and Deb is like in
Yeah,
between. And so, like,
in
say
between.
if you pick like tech, then you go to the template, right? Where it's like the more structured template form than the creative one, right? And then yeah. Anyways, yeah, that would be because we
Yes,
already
it's like open
yeah,
to, it's also open to interpretation because it's true that we are kind of building like different versions, right? And you and I are trying to put this like NFT self discovery game because we really like the idea of just you come
yeah,
here and you're also your inner game. It's exciting because you are also creating, but you are like yes, flowing with the energy of your archetype in a way.
hmm,
So I don't know. I feel like this add-on is super nice, but maybe yes, Nick is doing like her own thing with the energies, which is like
yeah,
also another version of it, right? So it's like different maybe navigation modes. They are
yeah,
all. I feel like they are very related because we are just branching of different like categories, but we are all united by this energy etymology or energy like configuration. But I really like
yeah.
we are just discovering
See,
several ways to do this.
and then when I was looking at like Nick's regenerative, I think it was onboarding discovery bot, where it has like these questions and it helps you reflect. And I think those help us to build out the roles, like how they relate to Concealance Library in a sense, and those help us to like in a sense crowdsource the roles and the
Yes,
categories. Yeah.
Yes, maybe you and I can just build or write or just construct this first. I don't know how to call it, like the introduction to your role, and it's
Okay.
like an explanation, really. And then yes, it's like our intro game guide, and it's
Hmm.
like
Hmm.
choose your own avatar, and we just explain this to be able, just maybe in the first super basic MVP. This is like the entry point. It's like, okay, choose your avatar, your archetype, and then your car is like super nice, as these three ones are super nice, and you have your role, so you can start playing this.
Yeah. And then you start to figure out like I think too the the game is to kind of explore what we're talking about workflows, and even as things develop here, because that's what we've been talking about in dynamic energy budget. Her phrase about value in the process is over the product, but like the process of how it unfolds, and then even weirdly connects in odd ways. Like the whole thing with the um, within the vacuum, like kind of just like weirdly happened on its own. That wasn't like a, I don't know. It was a weird
Yes, and
one.
it's like, yes, the things what we are already doing, it's like that's the process, right? Because we are
Yeah,
just linking all our discoveries, and then someone comes like with in the vacuum and say, "Oh, yes, music, and I want to do this," and then a streamer say, "Yes, but we can just put this together and mix this up, and we have this new thing." So it's like, yeah, I feel like the process is here, but we from the very beginning we wanted to have a container for this to
yeah,
be, I don't want to say permanent, but for us to explore, and then maybe yes, yeah, that was like the other navigation mode. Like we these energies needed to be like evaluated or linking together, and that was like the energy mode, right? So we were
yeah.
feeling, okay, how do we really measure this in this kind of energetic mode? So it was still happening, but we were having this wish maybe to have this container, right? So to be able to evaluate this, or for ourselves to say, okay, I'm really just doing these kind of things, and I'm exploring myself in this way too. So I found
Mhm.
that it was like a really foundational idea to have this container to be able to say, okay, yes, I'm just in hindsight, I saw I was creating this, and this, and at that moment we just, oh, everything just was coming together, and we felt, oh, that's the music, or that's the paper, or that's the research, and I thought that was like the beautiful idea of wanting to explore that as well.
Mert, you there? How's it going? Or is he just listening? Yeah. Okay. So you know, also too, I think I haven't had time yet, but I wanted to go through what was it? The humanistic design or human design? That one that you shared, and then it has these broad categories of energies and stuff like that. Uh, that would be an interesting one to go and see.
Yeah, I feel that was like interesting because we were a little bit lost trying to evaluate or configure our energies with the dev one, because we said, okay, maybe that's like more based for scientific research and trying to put that
Hmm.
up. But if you go to the humanistic management, it's like, well, it's super adaptable because they have like these four categories to say, okay, we if we meet our needs, our basic needs, like survival and just the basic needs, then we have
Hmm.
this amount of dignity to cover. And as long as that is higher, it's like we are contributing and we are receiving more value. So the thing is like, as long as you can make these circles for dignity be bigger, that's where our value is reciprocated, because we met the basic needs, like it's
Hmm.
to us to be alive and to have these kind of energies. But then if we build for dignity, that's the configuration for humanistic management, to say the higher your dignity is going back and forth, the higher is this humanistic value met. So I felt that was like a very good framework too. And I see now here Mert in this call, so maybe he wants to go over this other thing, like trying
Yeah.
to actually share the the budget, or saying, okay, maybe it's time to decide that, even if we're just building this whole thing and saying, okay, we want to do that, but maybe it's a good point as well to say, how do we do that with this category, another one? So yeah, maybe it's a good time to go over this as well.
Mert, are you there? Yeah, I think you just listen in. I don't know. You're mute if you didn't realize.
Yes, I'm here, but my connection is so bad. Sorry, like I didn't hear. What did you say? Like I didn't hear.
Oh, you did. Letty was just asking about if you had any input about what's going on, and then I guess phase one of the library.
Yeah, like we just need to finish the NFT discovery game clearly, then start adding to wireframes and deliver to devs. So it's like we have some work, but not very big chunk. Yeah, that's what I have. That's my update. I was watching you guys actually.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, and then I guess I'll we'll sketch out like um the elements and the description of, well, you know, actually, and then me and Letty will like combine, um because the part that she wants to bring in with the humanistic design stuff, she knows better than me. I haven't had time to look into that one yet.
Oh, got it. Sounds good.
But yeah, I mean, we have basic elements. Like I said, for the like the first, I think this initial first phase is the self guided tour, and those are like the adventures, and hopefully, like we have the dynamic energy budget. I have this other idea that about some of the stuff that Dogadas was sharing, and like do the similar thing to that. And so like we have like three of these like prototype self guided tours where it's like what Steph says, right? You put the video in there, you watch like a short like clip, intro clip, and then kind of like hopefully come up with the buttons like, oh, this, choose this way or that way, and then you lead to the next video or the next feedback thing of like antidote to like why like for instance, I probably would say something about like this one, why I want to share that one thing about Dogadas is like there's like these different things that he shared that like influenced me to like think about putting like baking in the concept of the commons and all of like Dogadas's like stuff. So anyways, have a good anecdote about that, and then that'll be another self-guided tour. And then like I said, the phase two is like building out the roles and like group dynamics, what I'm calling, I guess. And that's where the cards and stuff like that, and hopefully we have, yeah. I'll share what I have on that. I have some stuff that I've been sketching out in my book about that. Can you guys hear me good?
Yep, I could hear. And I didn't say hello because I didn't want to interrupt you.
Oh yeah,
But
I was just yeah.
hello, everyone.
Hey, how's it going? How are you?
Busy, very
Yeah,
busy. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I mean, this big, kind of crazy, not crazy, but busy. Like I said, we did a presentation, the dynamic entry budget, at Kernel, and then
Okay.
I was like watching some of the other presentations, and there's a lot of similar themes that we talk about here in the library and Omega. One was like fear of existence or something like that, and they called it a game too. And then another one was like neighbor DAO or something like that, which is like this like buddy system and conversations and stuff like that, which I found was kind of interesting. But yeah. Anyways, how about you?
Being busy, like I'm working a lot with Aragon.
Oh,
You
okay.
know? Yeah. So I got involved. There's a lot of stuff to do inside the place. I'm curious about this neighbor thing. Well, what's that?
Yeah, and it's like a conversation building, a trust building dApp, and so like I guess like you have like these like kind of, it seems like Twitter Spaces, like or like these Discord chats, and then you kind of like record the conversations over time, and then like I don't know, but it was like building this trust through peer-to-peer relationships, and it was like know your neighbor, like is the building block for like societies that knowing your neighbor, having good neighbors, and what does that mean for the digital space, and um, building up reputation and trust through these like conversations and these networks of trust like that. And I'll share the link to that one. That one was kind
Yeah,
of interesting.
wonderful.
Yeah.
I would be really interested.
Yeah, yeah. I'll look for that one. That's cool.
Thanks.
But also too, I've been thinking as like a research project within, the self discovery game is like I've been reading the latest I think it's called Decentralized Society, Web3 Soul or something like that. Vital and some other one. I forgot. There's like three other authors, and I'm talking about soul-bound tokens and like tokens that are not transferable and are like
Yeah.
based on yeah, like exploring those ideas. I find really interesting.
Yes, because I heard this soul bond concept now. What do you guys think, like, of calling these tokens in that way? Because there is like this debate, and we are just using specific terms for these kind of contracts, which is like, okay, they are exclusive to you because this is like your soul is theirs or is your NFT. But how do you feel about this kind of terminology? I'm curious, asking for that.
Well, non-transferable, but is the
Yeah,
idea.
like
But
it's a
like
soul
SAS,
bond.
but I like. It sounds funny. I don't know.
Yeah.
Soulbound. Yeah.
I
Why
think
not?
it. But well, it's kind of funny because like it's referring to what do you call it, World of Warcraft and like Soulbound, like task or whatever, like task you create your whatever. But yeah, I think the moniker is interesting. Me personally, I don't care about the label, but the concept of badges or building, you know, I kind of even earlier with some of my weirder conversations would be like proof of creativity or like proof of like these other like abstract things.
Well, as
Yeah.
a tool, it can be very useful. Like, for example, for certification, you could have any
Mhm.
kind of degree because a degree is not something that you should be able to transfer.
Yeah. What about you? What
Yeah,
the
Letty, what do you think?
It's tricky because I feel like we are implying some things, and well, if we go to this essence, right? Like Web3 decentralization and self sovereignty, and maybe we are using some terminology that is not very appropriate, like from a semantics way. I feel like, well, the concept is right. Like you have your creative skills, and as an individual, you are just having this type of concept, right? Like you measure your abilities, your skills in a way that is unique to you. But well, my question was more related to why are we calling that soul bond tokens? Is that kind of signing a contract we really don't know we are just collectively signing into? It's like this philosophical question, right? Like, is our soul bonded to these tokens now? That's why they are choosing this term. I really don't like the term. I like the utility, but I don't like the term.
It's because they stay with you even after you're dead. That's why they're soulbound. No, just joke. Uh, but yeah, I see your point.
Yeah, that's nice. It's like even in the other worlds, in the other spheres, we will be carrying these tokens around and just transferring this value between our souls. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe you will be like reincarnate with a wallet.
That's what I was just thinking right now. Is like after you're dead, like they could reanimate your network wallet, like mimic you. They'll be like bots
Yeah, it's like
animating.
we're laughing because it's like super. Yeah,
Uh,
you can laugh at it. Oh yes, after you're dead, but this comes into another issue
yeah,
or just another
yeah,
perspective that is the legal one or the contractual or the royalty one. Is like what is gonna happen with
yeah.
all these new material digital things we are creating in this digital space, but then what is gonna be valued or what is gonna happen when when these souls are not in this space? Is this gonna something that is
Well,
incorporated right in all the contracts?
you,
No,
you,
because
you,
well,
yeah.
it's access.
You
Yeah.
so you see creepy versions of this already with like artists after they're dead, and whether they're having Tupac as a hologram at Coachella and shit like that. Oh, that's kind of It's gets into a weird area.
Yes, it's going very dark right now, but yes, it's like, are we feeding material for our avatars in the hologram way? That's why we are working here for, like, feeding this machine to have more
hmm
data and to be able to choose and to, yes, to project us in these other realms that we are not
hmm
going to be soul bonded to. I don't know. It's like the bigger question. Yeah.
Well, I mean, going to that point because I was reading this other article and it was a Google engineer gets like pulled on leave or whatever because he was raising questions about sentient of an algorithm or whatever, and then he posts the dialogue between it or whatever, and but I even and then I've been messing around with the OpenAI, but it goes to your thing is like my friend has been like teaching one of his little chat bots to like mimic him for a long time, and then so like it's whatever you feed into it and like how it constructs it. So like then like those are the elements of what we're talking about of like resurrecting or having having these weird entities that are like I don't know. It's just it's an interesting space. But I now I'm thinking about we you know what because it's and then the deeper um like philosophical question is that those are actually not like soul bound stuff. It's for everybody to kind of come to their own conclusions about this
Again,
kind of
like
stuff
this
because you
paradox.
can't Yeah, but like the central paradox. I was just reading it, and I put it in the thread of
So yeah,
Imaginarium about the
we are just connected
mystery.
to one
The
paradox after another. Yeah, the mystery of
yeah,
the soul. Yeah, it's
the
like okay,
mystery
we
is
bond, but
this.
we don't want
Yeah,
to sell our soul into this kind of contract, but then we're developing this contract. So yeah, I
yeah.
like this kind of paradox. But it's okay. We need to navigate within these
Yeah.
boundaries as well to be able maybe to express ourselves and to work and build with others. So I really don't see like this level of complexity that we want to interact with. So it's
Mhm,
like something maybe to ponder individually. It's like
mhm,
okay, I novelty and transdisciplinarity, but I don't want this kind of feeding the machine stuff in a way. Do you
mhm,
know what I
mhm.
mean?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. But that goes to like and I was talking. I think forming this idea more. Not business as usual, but also to not feeding the machine, but also to like in the sense too. It's more about like sovereignty and then like ownership, but also too. Then I think what it also means is like regenerative in the sense because like you don't want feeding the machine. It means like you're kind of like losing energy and it's like extracting something from you. But if you're part of like not a machine but a ecosystem that's regenerating you, and that's different, right? And then like that's like the more frame argument that I think that uh, Gene wants to do with the dynamic energy budget. And I think too, even like I keep on going this like I don't know how to say it yet, but it's something along the lines of from degen to regen, and like but not just like regen in finance, but like what we're saying about the regenerative in like your how your own personal energy goes, regenerative of like even your workflow. And I've always kind of like I think I don't know, I am still like working on like how to like properly like communicate that, but it's something I've been working on, and I think tie it into the stuff that we've been doing in dev. But yeah, anyways, we got what was it? Is there like what's that? Actually, there's not that much omega to see. Let's people here. Um, but anything else that we kind of omega stuff we need to talk about? I don't think so, huh? I think we're so. Just to clarify, I will write some stuff in Imaginarium workflow, and then combine it with you about writing the description for the NFT game, and then like putting the elements and having like that
Yes,
outlined.
totally.
Okay. Okay.
Yes, I feel like can be like our way, even if yes, we're dealing with all these paradoxes and dichotomies and like feeling like our energies are kind of scattered, but we are all
Ah.
having this creative workflow that I really like as we are. Yes, I see like there is value in the process as we are, as Deb says, right? Like we are doing
Yeah.
this and we are, yes, enjoying what we do. I really like if we can just feel our flow as well. And with
Mhm.
the avatar guide, I feel like we can just come back to this creative sphere. Like we saw the value in the inner game as well. So
Yeah.
yes, I would
Yeah.
like to, I will. I'm gonna hop off because it's super
Yeah.
noisy here,
Yeah.
and I'm
Yeah.
you
Okay.
sometimes too.
Cool.
But
But
cool,
yeah.
yeah, super
Okay.
fun to talk to you both.
Yeah.
See you in the chat.
Bye. Yeah. See you guys in the chat.
See
Ciao,
you.
ciao.
Bye.
Bye.